As spring comes into full bloom in the south of Italy, the branches of the already lush trees hang heavy with fattening, ripening fruit. There are some people who eat seasonally all year round. And I don't know if any of them live somewhere where the winters are very long and cold or how they manage that. But I think that if you can do that, it's probably the tastiest and most nutritious food you can get. Nothing beats fruits and veggies that have just been picked off the tree or pulled from the ground. Nothing. We are so lucky that we can get our hands on fruits and vegetables in the grocery store pretty much year-round. You can find almost anything you want thanks to the import and export from other countries. But a lot of those fruits and veggies have been sitting on the shelf or in the fridge or in the freezer for weeks or months and even years. So, I mean, if you can eat seasonally, it's definitely the way to go. Where my youngest daughter lives, the fava beans are plumping up in their pods, the chard is fully grown, and the blood oranges were just at their juiciest and most delicious. Today we're making cabbage rolls, not only because it's tasty and really versatile, but because it is basically the only thing in season here in Montreal right now. And I don't even know if cabbage actually grows in the winter here, or if it's just that it keeps for many months after being harvested in the autumn. I should have looked that up before I started recording. But anyway, cabbage apparently is very much in season. And if you watched last week's video, then you know that last week we had a few little flowers blooming and there was some sunshine and many very confused little insects that were out and about a bit too early. But a few days ago we were hit with the biggest storm we've had all year round, even though it is currently April. I dream of one day living where I too can garden outdoors most of the year, if not year-round, and sometimes I splurge and make things that are in season elsewhere. But in the meantime, I try to make the most of what my current home has to offer, and so we make cabbage rolls. Some people don't cook the cabbage before they stuff it, but I find it's much easier to manipulate if I do, so I will cut out the core from underneath and place the whole cabbage in a steamer basket, and I will just steam it for between 3 and 5 minutes depending on how big the cabbage is. While the cabbage is cooling, I'll saute onions and garlic and celery. I will also add dried chili flakes and fennel seeds, and when the onions and celery start to become tender, I will add some vegetable broth. I will usually add some texturized vegetable protein, as well as some tofu, some freshly cut parsley, and I will leave that to simmer until the TVP has absorbed most but not all of the vegetable broth. In the meantime, I will chop up some mushrooms and I will saute them with a lot of garlic. I don't love cooked cabbage, do I? I don't really love cooked cabbage, but I will make cabbage rolls and sometimes I'll throw leftover cabbage in a soup, but usually I will eat it raw. I prefer it in a coleslaw or, well, that's about it. I like sauerkraut. I like fermented cabbage. I like coleslaw. I love red cabbage. I put that in salads often. But like I said, once in a while, I just get a craving for cabbage rolls. As I'm saying it, I'm realizing I don't actually know a lot of cabbage recipes or recipes that have cabbage besides the ones that I just named. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any favorite ways to eat cabbage, please leave them in the comments below. I'm willing to try. I'll try just about anything. I will then mix the tofu and mushroom mixture with some cooked brown rice. And then I will put a little bit of tomato sauce in the bottom of a baking dish. And I will peel the cabbage leaves off whole and stuff them with a scoop of the rice, mushroom, and tofu mixture and roll it up as tightly as I can to keep the stuffing from falling out while it's baking. I didn't do the best job at keeping them tight this time. None of them fell apart, but when I cut into them, they were a little bit soft, I found. Once I've stuffed enough rolls to fill the pan, I will cover that with more tomato sauce and stick that in the oven for about 50 minutes, almost an hour. Depends how big your pan is and how many rolls you fit in there, but a pan with about 6 cabbage rolls in it, it takes about 50 minutes, I'd say. Like I said before, I don't know that anything is actually in season, like actually growing right now. But when I looked online, when I looked for seasonal vegetables and fruit by month where I live, it said that cabbage, as I said, is in season, as well as potatoes, apples, which I know there's no apples growing on the trees, so I really feel like because apples last a very long time, that this might be the same case with the cabbage and the potatoes, and also beets. So I'm making beet salad because I have beets and they're pretend in season right now as well. And I'm using beautiful purple beets, which I often make around the holidays, like around Christmas and Thanksgiving, because they actually are more in season then and more recently picked. But also, I don't know, there's something about the color, because in the later spring and during the summer, I often
will make golden beets instead. I don't know what that is. Just in my head, the purple beets are for the winter and the golden beets are for the summer. I don't know.
Beet salad is so easy to make. You just take cooked beets. I usually steam mine in the Instant Pot, and then I steam them whole, and then when they're cool enough to handle, I will peel them and slice them, and then I just pour a bit of olive oil and some red wine vinegar, and I put some fresh basil, or dried if I don't have fresh, and some salt and pepper, and that is about it. That is it. And I'll chill that for a while, and it's so tasty and they're so good for you.
I would love to know where you all live, and if you eat seasonally, what is in season where you are right now. And I would like to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It always means so very much to me. It really truly does. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, thank you so much for believing in what I'm doing, for contributing to what I'm doing, and helping to make this channel possible. And if you are someone who would like to work one-on-one with me for naturopathy or nutrition, there is a booking link in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you next week. And in the meantime, take really good care of yourselves. Bye.